Good morning. Welcome to Home with Mama Sue. Today is What Are You Doing Wednesday? Well, I've got a lot of things that I'm going to do today. Harold and I are going to leave in a little bit. We have a doctor's appointment and we'll run some errands and everything. I've already done my tidying up, but Amy and I filmed a video Monday afternoon. And I wanted you to see it, but the wind was blowing so hard until the sound was horrible. I listened to it and I listened to it, and there were parts that was better, but I knew that the majority of you wouldn't be able to hear it. And I'm just going to tell you the story. I was sitting here in my sunroom, and I looked out the window right there, and I saw one iris. This is it. One iris. Well, at that time, the wind was whipping so bad that you couldn't hear me talk. And I went out there, and what I said, we clipped this one because I brought it in, and I put it first of all just in a bud vase, and then Amy and I went out another day and we clipped some flowers to add to it. This is wisteria that kind of grows wild and all, but what that reminded me of was last week we had 2 nights of extreme cold weather, freezing. I had to cover up my plants that were outside. I had to cover up my strawberries and where I had transplanted the hostas and things like that, because I knew that those 2 straight nights of freeze would kill them. When I looked out there and I saw that one iris, that's one of my favorite flowers because that was my mother's. And the thing about the irises is until they come up, because I have several colors, I don't know what it's going to do until it shows up. But what I learned through that one iris is it bloomed even after going through what I thought would have killed it. I was so surprised. Amy said, well, let's go cut it. And she was videoing me, and I'm not going to show you that video, but I'm telling you. And I thought, is that not just like us? We go through things that we don't think will make it. We go through hard times that other people don't think we're going to make it. But we do. God knows. And I out there, I told Amy, I said, it reminds me of a verse in Matthew. And it's when Jesus is teaching about worry. And he tells us that not to worry about our everyday life. Not to worry. And he used some examples. And one of the examples that he used, and this is Matthew 6:28 and 20. I'm going to say 28 through 30. Jesus says, why worry about your clothing? You know, he'd already talked about food and things like that. He said, look at the lilies. Look at the irises in the fields. How they grow. They don't worry or make their clothing. Yet Solomon in all of his glory was not dressed as beautifully as they are. And if God cares so wonderfully for flowers that are here today and gone tomorrow, he will certainly care for you. Why do you have so little faith? That spoke to me. I've told you that there were days a couple of years ago that I didn't know if God was going to heal me here on earth or heal me by taking me to heaven. But that lily survived what should have killed it. That iris. I realize I said the wrong thing. That iris survived what should have killed him. And we can survive too. Think about it. When we go through something, let's remember what we went through. And it's amazing how we can learn lessons if we just look for them. This was important to me. And on this Wednesday, I hope it speaks to you too. You may be going through something right now that you think there's no way I'm going to get through it. But when you do get through it, thank the Lord for bringing you through. And remember, in Matthew, he tells us not to worry. I want you to remember to be salt and light. And I'll be back another day with Home with Mama Sue.